Welcome to Questionable Fandom with Alex and Casey. I'm Alex.
And I'm Casey.
And this is going to be our 4th episode.
Yeah.
I already forgot what number we were on.
You post the episodes.
I know, but let's see. A little bit of show news. We are on Spotify now. Just do a quick search of Questionable Fandom will come up. I tested it.
What else were we trying to get onto that we haven't?
We're still waiting on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. Okay. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, which is all of the podcasting services I know of.
All the major ones.
But if there's more that someone wants us on, just message us, tell us.
Yeah. That's all the major ones I can think of. Oh, let's see. What's new this week? You want to go into what we've been doing this week?
Well, shouldn't we do the quick rundown of what
I tried to say what's new. What is new? Then what's new? What are we doing?
Well, I mean, there's a normal segment where we talk about what we've been doing. A little bit of news. Not too much there, but a lot of on the Pokemon Direct from this week. And then the deep dive, which
is also Pokemon related. I was thinking about this week where I was like, I'll show this podcast to people who like Pokemon because we'll talk about it a little, okay? We've talked about it almost every week. Actually, I think we have. Every single week because something like keeps coming up. I don't know if it's just their news season or...
I think that's what it is. It's a time for Pokemon news. So it'll probably dial back quite a bit beyond us what we're playing and stuff, but...
Yeah, I don't know. It's come up a lot recently. The card game, the video games, the shows, everything.
Yeah.
It's all come up a lot recently. Okay, well, now that we're past that, what have you been doing this week? We actually haven't talked much this week.
Yeah. Well, I've been still playing GTA Online. Actually saved up enough money, got my arena workshop, which is something new. I don't think you've seen it.
I've not heard of it.
You can kind of design like Mad Max style vehicles, and you do various games with them.
Sounds cool. I mean, that game's cool. All that stuff's cool.
Yeah. Still playing the Pokemon TCG Online.
I played a little bit the other day. I don't play it every day, though.
Yeah. I'm beginning to slip on every day. But that's partly because I got a couple of daily challenges that were kind of hard to pull off.
Yeah, sometimes they're not super easy. The evolution ones I always find really, really easy.
Yeah. The two I had that took me a while was knock out 12 Pokemon with water and with Psychic.
Yeah, it's a Psychic one that always gets me.
Which I ended up using a fire deck because it has Mewtwo and I got the best results out of it. Not my actual Psychic deck I have.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that it had to be in versus.
Oh, did it have to be in versus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. I did realize that when I tried to play the other day that like the best way to get stuff is to actually play versus, but to play the theme deck versus. So
yeah, that's my favorite.
You have a higher. I had forgotten about it, so I was doing the other bit. But the theme deck versus, you're generally on sort of the same playing field,
right?
And the rewards they have for winning streaks are
pretty solid,
really good.
Yeah,
like they blow the Magic Arena awards you get for winning games like way out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, even buying a couple of booster boxes worth of packs, I don't feel like I have enough to build an actual standard deck for it.
I have one
I feel like if I did, I would just lose every game.
I mean, I've won a couple of games. I've probably done about 50-50. But one of those games, I had no business winning. It was just one of those fluke deals where the guy, I think, got flooded or I just got the type advantage. I mean, sometimes that's going to happen. But if I, built that deck in person and, took it to an actual tournament, I feel like I would just get stomped.
Yeah.
I think I just got the lucky online player thing.
I will say, though, I hate people that just scoop and don't play out a game.
I haven't seen that a whole lot in Pokemon.
I have.
I've played the Pokemon games for the matches for an hour.
I was playing one.
I mean, they can drag.
Yeah, I was playing one yesterday. Need to knock out one more Pokemon. Do scoops. It's like, come on. So I was gonna be a bro and play it out.
They probably should play it out because I've had games where
I've made
comebacks.
I was
way, way back. In fact, that's what I did with that standard deck where it's my standard deck I know is not that good. And I'm getting beat, I'm getting beat. In fact, I think I had 5 prize quiz left and he had 2. I was over halfway back.
Yeah.
And just drew into like some switches, and got a EX Tauros.
Right.
And just all of a sudden finally got his big guy down. And he had actually had the advantage long enough. His bench guys were also built up, but just, I don't know. I didn't win the game, but it was very tight.
I've had comeback wins like that. They'll be down to like 2 prize cards, and I'd still have 6, and I win.
Yeah, so people that don't play it out, I mean, I guess it's like a thing where they're like, I'm only going to invest so much time versus, like if I'm not winning, I'm not going to spend here an hour to win the game. Like, I guess that's the idea, but
right.
Like, I've seen that in Magic for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. It's just annoying when I'm trying to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't get credit. Also been still playing the Zombicide app.
I finished it, actually, last week.
I got like 7 missions left, 8 missions left. I'm near the end.
Yeah. I finished it. I liked it.
I'm still enjoying it, so.
Yeah, I like it because you showed me some stuff that you had that I didn't have, and I finished the whole game, so it's got replayability value. I just haven't taken the time to replay it.
Right.
Stuff going on. But, like, I could totally replay it and get totally new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just buy a couple of the character packs and have
like a whole new
completely
thing.
different characters.
Yeah. That's a good app.
Yeah. Played Gloomhaven today. I love those style of games. Group I'm playing with, I don't enjoy so much because they'll read ahead. They don't leave surprises.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
So I've never played Gloomhaven, but I actually don't mind those guys that much. Not that I don't have as much interaction with them, but
yeah, I mean, I don't mind them, but it's just like their playstyle on it. It's a legacy game, and they're supposed to have surprises, and they're supposed to work for the rewards.
Yeah, I don't like reading ahead.
Yeah.
You shouldn't read ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the main thing is there's like a puzzle where you have rooms that you gotta translate.
Yeah.
And they just Googled what the answer was.
Oh,
I don't know it. They did spare me it, telling me, but the rest of them know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross. I don't like reading ahead. Like, when we were doing the 4v1 Imperial Assault, like, I didn't even want to read ahead if I was the Imperials.
Yeah, I was the same way.
Like, don't read ahead. Play the game and let it draw itself out to its natural conclusion.
I mean, I would read the mission that we were on. I would read all of it, so I knew what surprises were coming.
Sure, yeah.
But I wouldn't read, like, the next mission.
Yeah. That's what I mean, but it's like if you win, you go here, like, no, I don't like doing all that.
Right. Which we can just go into that. Did start up a new game of Imperial Assault.
Yeah, we're playing the
app.
The app, so it's just 2 of us playing 2 characters a piece against the app.
Right.
We did one that's the regular campaign that the app generated, and we started Java's Realm.
Right.
Yeah, that game's
it's fun. I love the randomness.
Dude, yeah, you should.
The randomness is awesome.
Yeah, I hope at some point we get to do a Let's Play for Patreon or something for that. Like, whenever it spawns a character that was already pre-generated for that mission, their picture just comes up so you know. And when they do random, it generates a circle, but it literally flips through the available units.
Right, which I think some of them have a limited pool that
they do. It's not a full pool for everything.
Yeah.
It's probably a threat-based pool, but it's like.
Or like it's a theme base, because I think this one of the missions we played this last time, Greedo popped up as a random, but I think it could have been any one of the bounty hunters, or it was small.
Yeah, but I think all the randomness was like
the named characters.
I think it was all red. Yeah, I think it was all
named
elite stuffed.
Yeah.
But anyway, like when the thing comes up and its faces and it's the randomizer, we both get giddy. Like
it's like what's it gonna be? What's it gonna
be? Random. Yeah. No, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've spawned
Tusken Raiders on like an indoor Yavin type planet, jungle planet. It's like, yeah, they'll be there. That makes sense.
We had the snow troopers from Hoth on Death Star, not Death Star, the Imperial Star Destroyer.
That makes a little sense.
It makes a little sense, but it was kind of weird though.
Yeah.
And then we've had like we were like in the Outer Rim and had Palpatine show up.
Right.
And
I think we may have been on Cloud City, but yeah, he just popped up.
Yeah, it was still weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had Maul, Palpatine. Vader wasn't random, but he did show up. Greedo did show up in a mission at random.
I want to say we had an ATSC pop up random.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was. I think it was like a Wampa or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a creature.
Yeah, it was one of the large creatures.
It was a Rancor. I'm sorry, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
it was
what
it was. It was a Rancor. Like we were on a forested world, I think, but we were like in a base.
Yeah, we were right next to the base, and then
yeah, here's a Rancor.
How did we not see this coming down?
How did we not hear it? Yeah, might have been the best one. That was great.
Right, yeah.
But the Jabba thing is really cool.
Yeah, I enjoy it because, like, the side missions for unlocking allies, they're just all text-based.
Are they all text-based?
So far.
Okay. I said another one.
But there's, like, options that we can choose.
Yeah, another
It's
one.
like we're going through an adventure, but we're not actually playing.
Yeah, it's like a
mission.
choose-your-own-adventure thing where you're picking all your responses to stuff. But in the maps, like the one we did this week, the map was, like, huge.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing I like is, like, we started, it was like maybe 10 by 10 squares map, and then all of a sudden we get to a certain point and it's twice as...
Yeah, we have to spawn...
It, like, triples the size of the map.
Yeah, we have to spawn more map.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep part of the map hidden.
Right. Also been playing the Pokemon app games, so like Pokemon Go and Magikarp Jump. Which I had to restart my Magikarp Jump game.
You have to restart it?
I had to, because I played it on the old phone.
Oh, okay. I knew you had played it a lot before. Yeah, I just downloaded Pokemon Go for the first time this week.
Yeah, that's what got me back to playing it.
The first time ever.
Which actually, they improved it, because it used to be, I was messing with settings and saw where I could link it to my, I got an iPhone, so it's Apple Health, I think it's called, but like tracks how much I've walked and stuff. And Pokemon Go can now read that data.
So you don't have to keep the app open for the eggs.
Right.
Yeah, I just figured that there were eggs today.
Wow.
Well, I didn't read anything about it.
Well, of course not.
Like I keep had to Google stuff. Like when I hit transfer Pokemon, like I had no idea what that did. I had to Google it.
Yeah.
I also had to Google how to use Pokestops.
Well,
like I went to one and opened it, and I was like, "Where's my free stuff? How do I get my free stuff?"
Oh wow. I'm pretty sure it tells you to spin it.
It didn't. It did not tell me. I assure you,
I'm pretty sure the game tells you to spin it.
It didn't tell me to do anything. Okay.
You didn't read.
And the only thing I'm sad about is that this game keeps teasing me, because in the opening image, the image that comes up while the game's loading, there's a Mr. Mime, and I have not seen a Mr. Mime.
I have one. I may have two.
I mean, I need one. Like, that's for real.
Yeah.
I absolutely need one. The only thing I've caught is... I mean, I have a bunch of, like, little one-off guys that aren't very strong.
Yeah.
But the only one of any significance is... I don't even remember the base form name. It's a cicada, like, flying bug Pokemon.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's Armaldo is, like, the evolved form.
Right.
I think it's Armadillo or something like
I don't
that.
know.
But anyway, they're all over where I live. The only Pokemon I've caught so many of that I've evolved it.
Yeah, you'll see
And it's
more
like-
advanced ones as you level up.
Yeah, it's like triple the CP of everything else because it's
Right.
evolved.
When I first started playing it, back when it first came out, the evolutions were what you wanted for, like, gym battles and stuff.
I saw an Eevee once.
Right.
I looked at it and I thought, it has 13 CP. I don't want it.
You're supposed to catch them all.
Dude, no.
It helps you
I have a limited number of Pokeballs, and I was trying to get all the bug Pokemon I could get to evolve my bug Pokemon into a big bug Pokemon. Okay?
It's called playing the game while you work.
Well, I did all this at
drive-
work.
I mean, you drive around for your job.
Well, yeah, but the game doesn't let you register if you're going over like 10 miles an hour.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I've crept through a lot of parking lots.
Yeah, so you should be
I don't play the game at home.
swimming in Pokeballs.
No, I'm not swimming in Pokeballs. I'm not good at the game. Like, when you talk, like, every Pokemon I catch, it takes like 5-6 Pokeballs. I have Pokeballs quick.
Get good.
I'm getting
Get
better.
good.
I'm getting better.
Get good.
Well, no, the problem is I do it while I'm working. So, like I just did it today, and I told myself I wouldn't do it because I had a limited number of Pokeballs, and I'm trying to get good. But I have a phone for work, so I have one phone I'm looking at, and I have another phone I'm playing Pokemon Go with. But I'm just using it with one hand and one thumb, so I'm always flicking it to the right and just totally missing the Pokemon. Like,
Get good. Anything else you've been playing? That's pretty much all I've been playing.
just Magic going on and off. More than Pokemon TCG, but not like every day or anything. They still have the story bit they're doing for the War of Spark thing. So it was the randomized game, then it was Pauper last week, and then this week it's Singleton, where you can only have one copy of each card. It's not a basic land.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. It's cool to play those things because it's like everybody's on an equal playing field because you only use one of a card, and then like the randomizer, everyone's on the exact same playing field.
Yeah.
So when I win, it makes me feel better. Like the Singleton, I play like 5 colors. I just play all the Planeswalkers. And like,
Probably works.
it works, but I think it irritates people. And then in the randomizer, the decks had planeswalkers in them. Everybody would just play a land and pass, so that they would keep the cards in their hand, so that they could play more lands than planeswalkers. And it has always been my MO to just go land, discard anything, like the highest CMC thing in my hand, get a 1/1 dude.
Right.
Get a dude on turn 2. I will put out something every single turn.
Right. Which I think is the way that format's supposed to work.
But people would skip 1 or 2, or they would like skip 1, do something on 2, skip 3, so that they would have more stuff in their hand to potentially have the lands to play, like the Nicol Bolas if they drew it.
Right.
Or the 6-mana Liliana if they drew it, like the bomb cards.
Right.
It's like I did lose to a couple bomb cards, but I won way more than they got to their bomb cards because it's a 100-card deck and it's one of each. So consistency is what you should look for in TCGs, people.
So what you been watching?
Not a lot, but I tried to watch a little of Pokemon. Like, a couple weeks ago I tried to watch the tournament stuff from Gold and Silver.
Right.
So I tried to get back to that. It's painful. Ash is such a horrible trainer, okay?
Yeah, I watched a good Pokemon anime, Generations,
that one
this week.
That one is good.
Oh, actually, I watched it all today, actually.
You should watch Origins. It's better, but Generations is really cool.
Well, I knew I could get through most of Generations. I wanted to watch something this week.
Origins is only like 90 minutes, the whole thing.
Okay.
It's 4 20-minute episodes. Or 22 minutes, or 23, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. It's just the first. It's like just...
Gen 1.
It's Gen 1 as if it were X and Y. Like, there's some Mega Evolution stuff in there. They did it for that anniversary.
Yeah.
Generations goes through a bunch of the games. There is some stuff in Generations.
Generations go through them all, save for Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Because it came out before Sun and Moon.
Yeah, so it's got some scenes in it that I thought were, like, awesome.
Yeah.
Like the...
See, I love the one where, like, all the gym leader shows up to fight the evil team for that game.
Yeah. That one's cool. That scene's awesome.
I just love it because you see, like, the champion doing stuff.
Yeah.
You see the gym leaders
like they
doing
should do stuff. Like they should be like community pillars. I always thought that the scene that they have the cops when they go interview Silver.
Oh yeah.
Because Giovanni was a criminal.
Right.
Like, I thought that was like the coolest scene ever. I was like, I want a whole show about Silver.
Yeah. See, I enjoyed like when they were breaking into the gym trying to find Giovanni.
Yeah.
And they were like blasting through the wall.
That whole plot line.
They used the Magmite to override the electronic locks. It was just good.
So, but I tried to watch so I was like, I can't deal with this Gold and Silver, so let me skip forward a little bit and see what else is on Amazon Prime. The 3rd series is not on Amazon Prime, it's on the Pokemon channel, but the 4th series and 5th series are on Amazon Prime, and so are the first 2. It's weird.
Does the Pokemon channel cost anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I never looked into it, really.
Me either. I didn't look at what it cost. There was like a 7-day free trial.
I think I downloaded it on my iPad and then never did anything with it.
So I couldn't do 3, so I was at Diamond and Pearl, and Diamond and Pearl, I don't know this for sure, but when I was looking, it looked like it was the most episodes in that game. Like the Indigo League is actually not that long. Like it's not that many episodes, like 2 seasons probably. It's probably like 100 episodes. And then Silver and Gold, it's like 2 years maybe. I don't know what the difference was for Diamond and Pearl to bridge all the way to... Maybe because they had Platinum, they took a long time to get to Black and White. But the anime has like 5 seasons, and they all have 4 parts, which are 20 episodes apiece. Oh, wow. They're 13, so it's like 52 episode seasons like anime usually are.
Right.
And there's like 5 of them. Like,
that's crazy.
Because I was trying to just get to the tournament arc. Like, I wasn't trying to watch the one-off episodes. I just wanted to see some tournament stuff for inspiration. And, like, I'm going through... Because it's usually, like, the last or next to last arc in a season. And, like, I go through and it's like, it's not in season 1. It's not in season 2. It's not in season... I'm like, how many seasons of freaking Diamond and Pearl are there? There's a bunch. Oh, my God, there's so many. And then I watched, like, I don't know, 5 minutes of an episode before it just grated me to death. When they changed voice actors...
I see why there are so many seasons.
Why?
Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006. Black and White came out in 2010.
Well, then that's 5 seasons.
Yeah. I mean, they had Platinum a couple of years after that, and then Heart Gold, Soul Silver came out.
Oh, yeah, they didn't do a show for Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, that's why there's 5 seasons. So, but it's a lot of content. And, like, they waste a lot of episodes on contests, which is something they just never went back to. So,
right.
So I tried to watch it, an episode. Like I said, they changed voice actors by that point, and Ash is, like, I never liked Ash anyway, so his voice actor is whatever. ever.
Right.
Brock's is horrible. Like, I know...
Brock's still with him?
Yeah. But he's not horny anymore. He's not chasing girls anymore. He doesn't want to be a breeder anymore. He's like...
So they completely changed the character?
Yeah. So, like, he has a different... He's wearing new clothes. He has a different voice. And, like, he's not sarcastic anymore.
Why
like,
don't you just introduce a new character at that point?
They should have. They should have.
You did.
Well, they did. He wasn't in the third series.
Okay.
But he's in the fourth series. But like I said, he's just completely nothing. You know, like in the original, or the first two, Brock and Misty are there essentially like to make sure Ash doesn't die. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're not, they like him, like that's their friend. But he's like, Ash is like the dumb friend. They're always telling him what Pokemon to use, telling him where to go, making sure he doesn't make the bad decisions. Like, but, so they're always down on him, right? Because he's a young kid that needs to learn and they're gym leaders. So they know they have all the experience. In Gen 4, he's just like the most generic anime sidekick ever. Like everything Ash does, he just goes, "All right, cool, bud." Like he's obnoxiously boring.
They should have been introducing new main characters.
They did for Dawn. I mean, she's like the most popular sidekick
I
ever.
just meant like
Besides Misty.
instead of following Ash all over the world.
Yeah.
Like new generation, new main characters.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Right.
Good luck.
It's not gonna happen now.
No.
It's too far gone.
Look, I know people love Dawn. Like, I remember watching Detective Pikachu and people, like, audibly gasping when her silhouette comes up in the credits. And then, like, I saw online, like, everybody was like, "Oh, they mentioned Dawn, right?" Like, I guess because she was in the show for so long. Because she's in the show more than Misty is.
Yeah.
And, like, people just dig her. I don't know what it is. I know what it is, but...
Right. That goes without saying.
Yeah. Okay. She's awful. Like, she spoke one line of dialogue, and I go, "Why is this character on the TV show? what is she doing here?" So like they're trying to do strategy, and this guy, the rival for that generation, Paul, walks past them. I don't know why he walks past them, but like he does, right?
Anime.
So like they get up and start running after him. Like he's minding his own business, walking to the thing, and they start running after him. And he stops. He's like, "What do you want?" And they're like, Paul, do you have your Pokemon picked out for the tournament?" He was like, "Yes, I do. The tournament's tomorrow. How do you not have your Pokemon picked out?" And Brock goes, "I know how you picked your Pokemon. You used strategy by looking at the most popular types of your opponents and picking the Pokemon that would work best against them with the most powerful attacks and the ones that you're most close to." Paul looks at him like he's the stupidest person in the world and goes, "Of course, that's how I picked my Pokemon. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to use the most type differential and like strongest Pokemon I have. Why are you three numbskulls talking to me right now?"
Been watching anything else?
I watched that My Hero Academia abridged that something Witty put up.
Yeah.
Once it finally wasn't
Stayed on YouTube.
copyrighted, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not a fan of My Hero Academia.
I enjoyed it.
Although it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was their abridged thing was fine. Although I don't know how abridged it was.
Right.
Like it's like 35 minutes long, and I guess it's abridged in like 2 or 3 episodes, but
Yeah. I got the feeling it was.
I don't know. I'll watch more.
Yeah.
I'll watch more. That's all I watched, really,
Right.
to be honest with you.
It's a little more than I did. Been reading anything of interest?
Nope. I didn't even pick up comics this week.
Yeah. I read like the first 3 or 4 chapters of the Pokemon manga.
Yeah, we had a buddy of ours tell us last week like how good it was. He was reading it, and we've always read synopsis of chapters that we thought were cool.
Right.
But I've never got around to reading
I
it.
got the first 7 books, so I got a little bit of reading material.
Look, he got the first 7 books like 2
we
years
won't
ago.
mention. Yeah.
Still in the first book.
All right. I finished it, but I wanted to reread it if I was going to continue to read it. So let's get into the news of the week.
I mean, they have E3 going on. It's not finished. I don't even know if it's half done by the time we're recording, but
I don't even know if it started.
it's just like the precursor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's happening. I know some guys were
Yeah,
at
it's like
were
this
at
weekend or first part of this week.
yeah. I knew some guys that were at the Xbox E3 thing, but I don't. That might be the only one that's like gone on for sure. Like the whole deal.
Well, I mean, like the big threes hold press conferences before the convention nowadays.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So most of the news drops before the actual E3 starts.
Yeah. I guess they do like the tech news, the hardware stuff, and then when E3 starts, they'll show off games.
Yeah.
So next week will be more E3 news.
Yeah.
The only thing that popped up. of
got
note.
the new Sims expansion.
Yeah,
coming.
new Sims 4 expansion. We both like Sims 4 a lot. And
Island living.
yeah, it's island stuff.
Pretty much
Mermaids,
what
beach.
you expect
Yeah,
from an island and
yeah.
mermaids.
Beaches, campouts, some eco-friendly stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing some stuff for Gay Pride Month. They're doing some new options, new clothing.
Right.
They've always been down. They've always been good about that. Though.
Yeah.
I don't remember if the first Sims did, but I know like the second one was totally open to sexuality.
The first one was as well.
Okay. Yeah. No, those games have always been good for that.
Yeah. They let you live your
However
Sims
you want
life
to. Yeah.
the way you think they should live.
Yeah. There was a new Star Wars game that's coming out. They showed
Eventually.
Yeah, I don't know when it's coming out, but
they showed some alpha gameplay of it.
Alex never played Uncharted, but I told him it looks just like Space Uncharted, which is good. Uncharted's great, but it looks exactly like Space Uncharted.
Yeah, it struck me kind of like Force Unleashed.
The combat looked
it.
like that.
Yeah.
Whenever he ignites the lightsaber and does that, yeah, he's just cutting through people. It's just what it is.
Well, I have to look into it more when more info comes out on it.
So the new movies out. Well, talk about new movies. I know there was some more stuff about the Batman movie. I'm not even gonna follow any of that until they do more announcements. They got a director for a Black Adam movie. So, like, The Rock signed on to play Black Adam, like, 3 years ago. Like, I think it was before Fast 5, and that was in, like, 2015.
Priorities, man.
Look, I get it, but it's like, he signed a contract to play a character in, like, 3 movies with zero timetable on when those movies may or may not take place.
There was probably a timetable on there.
In the next 10 years you might get one role? Like,
they probably had some stuff on there. If he has a good agent. Let's face it.
Dude, he probably has the best agent.
Yeah.
But
he's probably, there's probably a timetable. He may not be on for as many pictures at this point, or he just gotten paid for sitting around doing nothing.
Well, he always wanted to do it. I mean, that's why he did it. Was like he thought it was cool, and Black Adam's like the only character he really like looks like,
right?
Because he looks like a freak, and he's barely human. Okay, so but like I keep hearing about people talking about this Black Adam movie, like when Black Adam comes out, it's gonna be awesome. I'm like, look, The Rock is cool. I like The Rock. I'm a big wrestling fan. I like The Rock's movie. Black Adam has been in zero movies. Okay, you cannot say he's cool. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's been in zero movies, and all DC movies are bad. What
hype train?
What world are we living in? Okay. Anyway, apparently he's gonna get his own movie. He's not gonna be in a Shazam movie.
Yeah.
What? I'm confused. The Joker gets his own movie. Black Adam gets his own movie. I'm confused. Yes, bad movies.
Care.
This is a movie that actually came out. This X-Men movie. Although they actually dropped X-Men from the title this time.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's just called Dark Phoenix.
That may be a Disney thing.
Maybe.
Trying to distance Fox from X-Men.
They should.
So they can incorporate those characters in a few years.
These X-Men movies are just terrible.
Well, don't think we'll see any more.
I know. I mean, you never even saw Apocalypse, did you?
I haven't seen anything past X3.
Okay.
I watched the original trilogy and that's it. No, I've seen First Class.
Okay, First Class is kind of cool.
Yeah,
it doesn't make a lot of timeline sense, but like the movie itself is fine.
Yeah, that was the most recent one I've watched.
Okay, then there was Days of Future Past, and everybody loves that movie. I hate it. I think it's just dumb. It's just very dumb. Okay, then they did Apocalypse, and it's about more half and half. Although I think it's like one of the worst movies I saw this decade.
I saw the screen captures of Apocalypse. It's like, nah. Saw shots of Psylocke, is like, nah.
She looks like she does in the comic books. She doesn't talk at all, which is crazy because they hired a really good actress and she talks zero. Like this is what those movies do. They pander to Jennifer Lawrence, who has like huge, very vocal, bad contract disputes every movie, and says how much she hates the movies and hates the makeup. And they keep hiring her, and then like hire good actors to play like Psylocke, who has no lines at all except maybe one, and and actually the guy who plays Apocalypse is fine. The movie's just really bad. But even him, he's a great actor, and they're like, we'll just CG over his face so he can't emote. It's like, what? I'm so confused. And then they're like, we need new speaking roles, characters who get screen time. I know who we should hire because we need a redhead. We should hire Sophie Turner, even though she's not really a redhead. But what? She's terrible. She's a terrible actress.
I don't think she's going to be in any more X-Men movies, though.
She was so laughably bad in Apocalypse. So they're like, let's take the worst part of the worst movie we've ever made
and double down.
and make her the central force for this new movie. I saw the Did you ever watch the trailer for this movie, Dark Phoenix?
Yes, because it's all over the internet.
The trailer.
It's kind of hard to miss.
Makes me have seizures. Like, it's so bad. It looks bad from the go. Even the trailer is incoherent. How can you not take an action movie and make a cool trailer?
Very carefully.
And then, like, as soon as the movie dropped, I see all the reviews flooding in, and it's bad.
Yeah, you put the note that it was a critical failure. It's like, can't be that bad. Googled it before we started recording. First article saying it's probably going to lose over 100 mil.
Of course, like, that was the thing before. Like, Days of Future Past to me is just terrible. Okay, I don't ever want to watch it again. It made a bunch of money.
Right.
Apocalypse, also worse. Like, to me, everybody hates X-Men 3. They always call it, like, the worst super comic book movie ever.
Well, it was a horrible portrayal of Dark Phoenix.
Everybody hates
it.
That movie.
It was garbage.
Right, everybody hates that movie. I thought it was on par with Days of Future Past. And I thought Apocalypse was worse. Because when I watched X-Men 3, at least I feel like some of those actors are having fun. Like, Hugh Jackman's still good in that movie.
Yeah.
Magneto's still good in that movie.
But it gave us that wonderful juggernaut.
Look, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's memorable, okay? Apocalypse is just sad. It's not good. No one's taking their performances seriously. Jennifer Lawrence looks like... She looks like an actor looks when they're literally holding the check behind their back on camera, ready to cash it. Like,
yeah. Well,
it's Dark Phoenix, baby.
Well, let's talk about something a little better in the Pokemon Direct.
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's got to be way better. Like, they're not going to lose $100 million.
No.
They're gonna make $100 billion.
So they showed off some new Pokemon. We saw a bunch of old Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, they showed off the game. The game's just like all the other games. I mean, it's on the Switch, so the 3D looks better. Like, the backgrounds look better.
Yeah.
But it's not anything different.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the same thing that's been making them money.
Yeah, it looks like Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
it looks like.
I mean, the new battle mechanics, Dynamaxing, which just turns their Pokemon into a huge version.
I find this to be like the weakest gimmick they've done.
Yeah. Well, what it is it's them introducing from Pokemon Go the raid mechanic.
I mean, yeah,
into
I saw
a mainline game. That's pretty much all it is.
It's fine. They should have done something where like you could do something with Go or interfaced with something else. But
yeah,
I mean, some of this stuff I thought was pretty cool. Like the Dynamax, take it or leave it. I mean, it's a gimmick. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a gimmick.
The gyms I think are actually super cool.
Yeah,
like they only showed one, and I hope that they're all sort of the same.
Well, they actually said they pretty much all are.
I kind of figured that. So,
but they're huge stadiums.
Yeah, so they're like all huge stadiums. There's like a crowd for the battle. It has to be a big battleground because of the Dynamax.
Right.
So it's like the Dynamax is like this big giant thing in the stadium, and there's a crowd and they're cheering. I mean, I like that. I like the idea that in that world, Pokemon battles are like important, like the high level ones anyway.
Right. Well, they said in the Galar region that it is entertainment of choice of people.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that the gym battles look very important. You wear like a uniform almost, like you're in a sports team.
Right.
The champion has like a uniform, like a sport like logo. It's like he has sponsorship. Like I think that stuff's cool for sure. I think that stuff's super cool.
Yeah, I mean,
some of the character designs are pretty cool too. Like unique.
Yeah, I like that the champion's like a local celebrity.
Yeah, he's cool. He's like supposed to be a celebrity. He's supposed to be like important in the community or in that region, which is the way that it should be. I like the character designs and the customability of that, and even like the gym leader and champion character designs. Like they look unique. I'll remember them. Like this guy they show is wearing like shorts, the weirdest shoes I've ever seen in my life, a sun hat. He's got pink hair and he's buff, like super buff.
Yeah. Well, online going around, it's a bug catcher grown up.
He like barely has a nose. He's just wacky looking, but that's how it should be, man. He's super cool. And the girl and boy that you play, I mean, their designs are a lot cleaner than they have been in the past. Now,
I just hope that they keep the trend that they started with Sun and Moon, where the rival's not the opposite gender that you are. As a unique character, not just a placeholder.
I don't think that that's how it'll be.
That's not the impression I got from watching the direct, that your rival's a unique character.
Yeah,
it's not just a placeholder, basically.
They already have some characters up on the website. So they have the main character, which is a girl or a boy. Then they have Leon, who's the champion this go around. He actually looks super cool. He wears a cape. Awesome. Hop, who I don't know, but he looks like whoever your friend guy is. Not your rival, but like your friend rival. That's
right.
Like super annoying. Professor Magnolia. They're keeping the name the right thing, but she's the first female one that I know of.
think so. But I've never played Black and White, so there's a gap of all legendary for me.
And girl named Sonia. She's the granddaughter of the professor, and she's the champion's childhood friend.
Oh, I missed that part.
It just says that she'll offer advice to you. So she's like she'll probably just pop in for stuff when you get new tech as the game progresses on. And like new stuff for your Rotom phone and Pokedex thing.
Yeah, I kind of somewhat like that idea.
It's also the thing that like turns into your bike and like a surfing machine that's like all Rotom too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's all that.
I haven't looked all over the website yet. I want some surprises when I play the game.
Anyway, I like the characters. I don't like the Pokemon. But we haven't seen that
lazy.
many.
The ones they showed off, as the big fancy ones that show off, look lazy.
Were weak. Yeah, that was a weak showing.
There was Dreadmaw, which is basically a snapping turtle.
He's a snapping turtle, but man, he looks like a bad knockoff toy from the dollar store.
There's Wooloo.
Look, I'm going to save Wooloo for last.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Gossifleur? It's just a floating flower.
Yeah, it's a grass Pokemon. And then there's
they're really small.
Elden Gauze, which is just the evolved form. It's a cotton ball, basically.
Oh,
Cotton Bloom.
Is it an evolved form?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a little cut. I don't know how big it's actually supposed to be. I see the little Pokedex picture and it looks very small. And I've seen the Dynamax Eldegoss and it's hilarious. It's a giant freaking cotton ball. Like I don't know what moves it. I guess it does like spore type moves, but
yeah.
They're fine. They would have fit in any gen. I mean, they're just random little plants.
Pretty good size. Pulled it up real quick. It's 1'8".
Oh, okay. I figured they were like 6 inches or something. I figured they were small. But if they're a big cotton ball.
And then there's Corvin Knight, Braven Pokemon.
This thing looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I know we started by saying that they were weak, but this is the strongest by far.
This is what brought up all their ones.
Yeah. No. This thing's cool. It's like I don't know what type it's gonna be, but it's like a dark.
I'm gonna guess flying steel, just from the looks of it.
It's like a steel armor. It's a raven, but its feathers and things like look metallic, and it's got like red glowing beady eyes. It is flying steel.
Okay.
It's a raven Pokemon. It's flying steel, and it's 7 foot tall. It's a 7'3" raven with metal wings.
My guess,
to me, that's super cool.
It's gonna be the third form of the regional bird.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be 2 more birds before it.
The gameplay still of it shows it at level 60.
Probably an evolved form.
It said that Corviknight is the strongest Pokemon living in the skies of the Galar region.
Then there's a legendary Pokemon, Zykin the Sword Wolf.
Oh, wait. I gotta back up for a second.
Okay.
A game mechanic is... So, another thing we didn't mention about about this region is that they're putting an emphasis on giving Pokemon jobs. Like, the idea is that the corporations in the region give Pokemon... Like, they want Pokemon to work for them to make their corporations look better.
Right.
So, a game mechanic to get from town to town, which is kind of based off the Pokemon rides that you can do in Sun and Moon. It's a taxi. Like, you get inside the taxi. It's just like a carousel thing.
Okay.
Pod. And this 7'3" steel bird carries you to another town. It's a flying Pokemon taxi.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know why that's cool. That's actually pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
It says that Corviknights are like great flyers and they're really smart, so they earn money. I don't understand, but
sure.
I don't know. You get that. That's a cool idea. Anyway, back to the legendary. Which legendary first? The sword one or the shield one?
I already did, or said the name of the sword one. The Zycan.
I'm so confused.
It's a wolf. It holds a sword.
It's a wolf with wings. It's almost a unicorn, but it's not a horn. It's a crown. It's like a wolf plus a werewolf plus a flying Pokemon plus a Ninetales. It's like 4 colors, and it holds a sword in its mouth. Its mouth doesn't have a sword attached to it or anything like that, like how normal Pokemon.
It just holds it.
It has a standalone sword.
And then there's
Zamazenta.
Yeah, which is pretty much the same Pokemon, but it has like a mane that becomes a shield.
Yeah, this Pokemon's ugly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Wooloo. You wanted to talk about it.
Wait.
You wanted to save it.
I was trying to see if it said anything about these legendaries, and
it doesn't.
Why are they legendary? I'm so confused. Like, do you remember when Mew was legendary because it's the first Pokemon?
Well, legendaries are the ones you can capture in the game.
Okay.
And then there's mythics, which are event Pokemon.
Okay.
Mew's the first mythic. Okay. Mewtwo was like the big
that's
legendary from
That's
that
man-made, though. Like, it has a story.
Right.
Okay, it's one of a kind.
Well, I mean, all the legendaries are generally important to the story of the game. Like in X and Y, they were like Team Flare's power source.
I remember Mewtwo makes a lot of sense. Ho-Oh makes sense. It's a life bringer.
Right.
The three beasts came
Three
from
birds.
three birds. They all came from these stories, and they're like legendary. Like they have legends. They make sense.
We'll find out more about them in the game.
Groudon, Kyogre, they're like the Lord of the Sea and the ground.
Like I said,
Diamond and Pearl have the Lord of Time and Space.
We'll find out more about them in the game.
These things just look like Pokemon. Like they look like strong Pokemon. They don't look like they have any like discernible natural state that they
Yeah, I mean,
hold.
we'll just have to wait till the game.
So
Wooloo.
Look, Wooloo's the greatest Pokemon they've made in 10 years.
Okay, it's a sheep.
It's just a sheep. There's nothing special about it. It doesn't look like a sheep with a type. It doesn't look
Probably
like
normal type.
It doesn't have big hooves. It's just a sheep. Just a fluffy, cute sheep that my friend's 5-year-old daughter would draw. Like, it's the laziest design I've ever seen, and yet it's just awesome.
Everyone online loves it.
Dude, I love it.
It's the greatest Pokemon ever.
It's 2 feet, 13-pound sheep. Like, it looks like what is it? It's just a friendly Pokemon that craves stability. This will be a short deep dive.
Yeah.
But it is something that...
But it's all you, because I don't know anything about this stuff.
Well, you can weigh in, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, yeah, it'll be shorter because it's not as prominent as some other stuff we've talked about. This came from we were looking through events for Gen Con 2019 to go to.
Yeah, we were trying to find some Pokemon event.
We were just looking at all the different interests. So we came across an event that they have for a game called Pokemon Tabletop United. So we pulled up the rule book, started looking at it because we like the idea of a tabletop Pokemon game. We play tabletop games and we play Pokemon games. Okay.
And we talked about doing our own, so.
Yeah, we did talk about doing our own at one point. Okay. Tabletop United game. The core book is like 700. No, it's 500
pages.
It's like 530 pages.
And that's just the rules for playing the game.
Yeah, there's
that's
nothing.
Not Pokemon sets.
That's not moves. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
Then there's a separate like 200-page document on the moves, and then the Pokemon document I think it's like 700. So it's like 2,000 pages.
Right.
So I started looking at some other stuff. Tabletop United is a sequel to an earlier game called Tabletop Adventures. PTA versus PTA and PTU. So some people play PTA, but they're like the type of people that still play 3.5
or second edition
because
or
it's
first
broken.
Edition.
Like I was reading I read like every form you can read on the subject. Okay, they literally go, I like PTA because it's broken. Like,
nothing wrong.
Just a fundamentally broken system where you can do broken things, so people play it. Not many people, but that's the only reason people play that game. Tabletop United, it plays like the mechanics are based off the video game, so all the stats are almost they're not 1-to-1 because they're not using numbers that are that big, but all the formulas are similar where you're doing to do the damage and to do the leveling up and the XP. There's lots of math involved, except you don't have a game system to do the math for you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that kind of math in a game.
In fact, I saw a lot of people go, is PTU too advanced to play? And they're like, no, you can play it. And then the guy goes, well, like, what do you think I should print out before I play? And the guy's like, oh, no, don't play physically. Play on Roll20. Like,
yeah.
Don't take it to the table, you moron.
So play the tabletop game online where it does all the math.
Yes, that's the general census. Is like it's good if you play it online. Like what? It's like playing the video game but multiplayer, but online, but with no emotion because on Roll20 it's not like you get avatars or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's not combat animations or anything like that. It's just you might as well play the game over Discord. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that all the numbers seem like they're game-based, but the actual game itself, like its lore and the way that its class system is, like the actual role-playing, is based off the manga.
Okay.
Like, the way that their combat system's so grindy that they can't do one-on-one battles, because if you're playing with a 4-person group, the one-on-one battles with all this math takes 3 hours, so 3 players are going to feel like trash. So they based it on the manga where people don't follow... You know, in the manga, they don't follow the rules. Yeah. Like, you'll just go 3-on-3 or 3-on-9 or whatever. So it's based like that. It's about a lot of... about brawl battles or battle royales. type thing. Lots and lots of Pokemon everywhere.
Right.
Which just makes the math harder. But anyway, so I came across Spanish-made game. Well, it was made by, it's Spanish origins, but it was made in Mexico. But the art is by Americans and Canadians. Called Poker Roll, which is a tabletop game, and it with the moves and the Pokemon is like 430 pages.
Not too bad.
Okay, it's not that bad. I read it in a night. I didn't read all. You don't have to read the Pokedex and all that all the way through. Yeah, I read it in a night. Next day, I did some sample battle with a couple just random Pokemon, like a Bulbasaur and a Mankey, I think, just to get a feel for it. It's way simpler. Like, it's not simpler like you're playing a kid's game. It's based on a D6 system instead of a D20 system.
It's more streamlined.
All the numbers are 6 or less. You're building dice pools, not doing add, subtraction, and multipliers on your D20 rolls. You don't have to keep up with the experience, and you're leveling and your stats going up. But the other game had a thing where like
there was a leveling system.
Well, you could get stats, but you had to keep them in a certain order.
Right.
It's just very in depth. So Pokeball is much simpler, and instead of leveling, you accrue experience and then buy skills or moves or stats with that experience.
Right.
Which levels you. Like, you don't level and then have to do a bunch of math. You can bank as much experience as you want, then physically train your Pokemon to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
Not go through all this math. That's all I had for it. It's just that not a lot of people know about the Pokemon tabletop games. There's 3 or 4 out there.
I know one more. There's a 5th edition.
There's something called Pokemon
5e.
5e.
It's pretty much what you would expect from a D&D 5th edition.
Yeah.
Fairly simplistic, streamlined.
Yeah, it's not quite as immersive. Yeah. It's sort of that one's sort of meant for kids.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah.
I mean, it keeps a flavor of the game system it uses.
There's another one called, there's a completely different game called Muji Monsters, which is just a tabletop game based around catching monsters. It's almost more like Monster Hunter than it is Pokemon, but there is a Pokemon module for it.
Well, I mean, Monster Hunter, you're going around killing monsters.
So this is, you're catching monsters to kill monsters. Like, that's what Muji Monsters is.
So it's Pokemon.
But the stats are completely wrong.
Well, yeah.
But you can, like, a guy...
It's a Pokemon game without using the trademarks.
Sorta. But the move system's not the same.
Well, yeah, I mean...
But there was a guy that asked the developer of the Muji Monsters, can we play this as Pokemon? Like, with my kids, can I play this as a Pokemon game? And it was like the most hilarious comeback, because he responded to him and goes, yeah, of course you can play my system however you want to play my system. It's just like, the catching thing is the same as Pokemon. And then he went into like an essay about how everything else was different. Like, oh, leveling's not the same. You can homebrew it at home, though. It's not that big a deal. The moves aren't quite the same. It's not 4 moves, and they're not typed out. But you can homebrew it. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
There's only 8 classifications of Muji Monsters, and there's 17 types in Pokemon. But, like, you could homebrew it. It's not that bad.
There's more than that.
This is whenever this article was.
Okay.
Whenever this this took place, like 2013, probably.
Okay.
So, it was just like, you can play it if you make all these changes that I'm not going to make.
Well,
it was just funny the way it went down.
I mean, like we've said before, Pokemon as a company on their cease and desist are kind of interesting. They'll let you make money as long as you don't get too big and make too much, it seems.
I think they're just one of those people that, like, they're not trying to waste their time going after people.
Right.
Now, if they hear about you, you're too big. But...
Well, no, not necessarily. Because there's a YouTube channel, used to be real big, called Darium's Pokemon. All they do is open packs of Pokemon cards.
That one's not that bad, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, they were pretty big. Their dude was being able to base his living off of it.
Okay.
And Pokemon was like, you're not big enough to worry about.
Well, they're not... I mean, there's a difference there. Like, they're not making Pokemon or using the trademark for their own thing. Like, they're just using what's already existing.
Right.
If anything, they're promoting.
Yeah. That's probably partly what Pokemon looked at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they shut down, like, Uranium.
Yeah.
I don't even think they were trying to make money, but it's just like, you can't take our thing and just completely copy it. But for these... If you like a grindy, math-based thing, and I saw some people that totally took up to Tabletop United. Like, I know I talked about it like it was less than, but, like, a lot of people totally took up for it.
I can believe it.
Totally enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, they love it.
Some people, like I said, love, like, 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And that is so crunchy.
So, I mean, some people really dig it because it really does feel a lot like the game, like you're playing a video game, but you're not. Whereas... Like, Pokeball is more like a role-playing game set in the Pokemon world, which is more what I'm into and some other people. But if you want the crunchiness, Tabletop United's got a lot of resources
Yeah.
that are totally free.
I mean, that's the beauty of the internet, too, is you can have both of those exist.
Yeah, exactly. I just
And
wanted to
not
bring it
cause
to
any
people's
problems.
attention. Like,
Yeah.
I know they're not very popular just because they can't promote themselves.
Right.
But they're both very sound, and just depending on what you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing, the player number can be a little weird, but that's really the only thing that I could think of that would make either one of them bad. Is I don't know that you could play Pokeball with like 5 players, because I feel like some people are gonna get bored.
Yeah. Well, that's a risk you run with any game.
Yeah. I mean, the other good thing about Tabletop United is it does have like 17 pages of classes. Like, that's the one we looked at. But
Yeah.
it has, like, they made a class for like every
Everything.
single type of trainer from the game.
Yeah, there was like the Pokemon trainer, the breeder,
The elite, the bug catcher, the fisherman,
the
Cook.
contest.
yeah, the contest, the cook, the
I think gym leader was one.
yeah, aspiring gym leader. Something
Yeah.
like they have all of these classes. Like, you could get lost in just making the
Right.
classes. Where in Pokeball, there was no classes. Like, you're just a trainer. Like, all the emphasis is like you developing your Pokemon.
The 5th edition one had one class, and that was it.
Yeah, a lot of people that played Tabletop United said just take the trainer part and throw it in the trash, because they don't want to focus on the trainer. They want to focus on the Pokemon.
Yeah.
But if you have the time and you want to be you want to crunch with it, especially with like your friends, like, you could totally get deep dive.
Right.
The 2,000 pages that are available, or 1,000 pages that are available for
Yeah.
Tabletop United. Anyway, that's the only topic I was going to bring up for deep dive this week. Just bring that to people's attention.
Well, I guess we did have a lot of news and stuff.
Oh yeah, the
that's fine.
Pokemon Direct thing is
Yeah.
always gonna take up a lot of time, but I don't mind doing that. I like their games.
And next week, the news and deep dive are probably going to be
The
the
E3.
same thing. It's going to all be E3 stuff. But I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for our new content for
Yeah.
this week. I said this is usually where we're gonna get into the mailbag.
I'm actually going to check the email real quick while you do everything else.
Okay. If you do want to email us questions or give us feedback, we're at qf.mailbag@gmail.com. Please like us on Facebook at Questionable Fandom Podcast. We're on Instagram at Questionable Fandom. I haven't gotten a lot on there, but I'm working on it.
Have you got anything on there?
The logo's up. The
Oh,
logo's up.
okay.
What-
I've given you a couple of pictures to put up there.
Dude, I'm getting to it.
I'm going to put you on blast on the podcast to all 5 people that listen right now.
Yeah, we're on Patreon at Questionable Fandom, all one word on Patreon. And we do have some more plans for more stuff on Patreon. I am tentatively planning on statting out the Kanto region for Pokeball. So once I get farther on that, I'll mention it again. That might be something that can go up on Patreon.
Yeah.
As easy access files. But I'm assuming there were no questions.
No emails.
Okay, no questions this week.
Beyond the one from Google.
Okay. Well, that's going to be it from us this week. Like I said, we're on Spotify now. We're still getting on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Patreon. You can email us at qf.mailbag@gmail.com. But that's going to be it from us this week.